Grade 10 Unit 8, the characteristic of organism. So here today we are going to see the characteristic excretion. So the excretion, the sum of chemical and physical activities. All chemical and physical activities happen in our body is we call metabolic activities. That means building up or breaking down the materials. Building up means from simple compounds forming complex. Breaking from complex simple compounds forming, that is the metabolic activities, metabolism. So during metabolism, the products produced by our body, products produce our body, those are excess or unnecessary products we call excretory materials. The products produced in our body during metabolism, those products are excess or harmful to our body, that is excretory products. So that products are removed from our body, the process is called excretion. So there are three excretory organs in human body, that is skin, lungs, kidney. Skin, the excretory materials, water and salt. So salt is sodium chloride and more water. So these are released by skin as sweat. Second, lungs. So the lungs excretes carbon dioxide and water vapor. So these are produced during cellular respiration. So the respiration reaction, the carbon dioxide, water vapor are released by the cells. Those are harmful or excess to our body. So that is excreted through lungs as form of exhaled air. Next one, kidney. The kidney, the excretory material, urea, uric acid. Urea and uric acid are nitrogen waste materials produced in liver. So with that salt and water, so it is excreted as urine. So these are the three excretory organs in human body. So the plants also excrete, that means during respiration. During respiration, they inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is the excretory product. Same way, during photosynthesis, they intake carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So the oxygen is the excretory product there. So what they release excess to their body, that is the excretory product. So the metabolism, that means all activities happen in our body. So the metabolism can be categorized into two ways. One is catabolism. Catabolism means the process of breaking down complex compounds into simple compounds. The complex compounds broken into simple compounds. At that time, the energy released from the body. So example, respiration. During respiration, the complex compound is glucose, that is converted to carbon dioxide and water, that is simple compounds. So the energy also released at that time. So that is respiration example. Anabolism, reverse, that is from simple compounds forming complex compounds. At that time, energy stored, absorbed. So example, photosynthesis. So the simple compounds are carbon dioxide and water. Front of sunlight, they produce glucose. Glucose is complex compounds. So from simple compounds forming complex compounds, that is anabolism. At that time, energy is stored. So these are the two types of metabolism. Next one, so more about the excretion in detail you will study in grade 11. And the next one, next characteristics is movement. So movement is helped organism to fulfill their requirements for searching of food, protect from the enemies and reproduction. So that is they use the movement. So unicellular organism, mostly microorganisms, they use some organs for locomotion. Cilia, that is tiny hair like a thing, paramecium bacteria. Flagella, they with the help of flagella they swim. Euglena, bacteria, chlamydomonas. Pseudopodia, that is false feet, amoeba. Actually they don't have feet, but they use the body muscles as a feet. So that is the pseudopodia, amoeba. So multicellular organism use fins. You know the fish type, they use fins for the locomotion. Wings, birds, they use legs. Mammals, they use legs. Flippers, that is turtle, dolphin, they use flippers. So these are the multicellular organisms. They use some organs for their locomotion. The plants also make movements, but they won't locomote, but movements are there. So tropic movement, plant movements you already studied in grade 9. So the tropic movement is, there is a relationship between stimulus and the response. The other thing, this movement reversible, it won't come back to same position. So the positive phototropism means that is stems, plant shoot system grows towards sunlight. It is towards the stimulus, therefore positive. Positive geotropism, that means roots grow towards the ground, downwards, it grow downwards, that is positive geotropism. Negative geotropism means the plant stem grow away from the ground, opposite direction to the ground, that is the negative geotropism. Positive hydrotropism, hydro means water, the roots moving towards the water source. Then positive chemotropism, so the pollen tube that is in the flower, the pollen tube grows towards the style to the ovary, that is positive chemotropism. That means some chemical secreted in the ovary, due to that attraction only the pollen tube grows. Next one, positive thigmotropism. Thigmo means touch. So tendrils touch the support, it twine the support. So this is the tropic movements. Nastic movement, that is no relationship between stimulus and response. The other thing, the movement reversible, it come back to the former position. So first one, Nyctatis nastic movement, that is some leaves shrinks when the dark falls. In the night time the leaves shrink, sesbania, then tamarind, those. Haptonastic movement, that is shrinking leaves when touch. So mimosa, when you touch the leaves fold. Seismonastic movement, that is sleeping of leaves during shock. Due to vibration the leaves fold, that also the example mimosa. Photonastic movement, due to light, sunlight, you know, blooming of flowers with the sunrise, lotus and some other flowers, so sunflower. So these are the some examples. These are the plant movements you studied in grade 9 also. So next we are going to see reproduction. So you know the reproduction, that is producing new organism. Production of a new generation by a unicellular or a multicellular. All organisms forming a new generation. That is the, the reproduction. So for the continuation of their life. It is of two types. Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means the male and female gametes fuse together forming new organism. So actually the male gametes in the human sperms, female egg. So fuse together they form zygote. Zygote is the first cell forming in the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, no gametes, a single organism can produce. From a single organism, a new organism forming. So that is example. Now plant stem form new plant from potato tubers new plant. That is the asexual reproduction. In some, from the leaves new plants arise. So that is the asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction found in the plants, not in animals, but sexual both plants and animals. Then growth and development. The irreversible increase of dry mass of the cell. That means when the cell grow, the mass of the cell increases. The increase in the complexity of the cell is development. Development means the cell become more complex. Complex means develop inside the cell. Development inside the cell. So growth and development can be expressed in 3 steps. First, reversible increase in size of cell. When the size the cell growing in size. Increase in number of cells by cell division. So you earlier studied during cell division the cell multiplies. And cell differentiation, that is complexity. That means cell differentiation means the cell becomes more complex. So oxanometer is used to show the growth of a plant. Plant growth can be identified by oxanometer. The oxanometer is, this is the diagram. So here there is an indicator, there is a scale and an indicator. So here the potted plant, the plant shoot tip is tied with a thread. The thread is going over the pulley and the load is tied the other end. So the load should be the correct value of load, otherwise it will uproot the plant. And what happen when the plant grows slowly, plant grows, what happen? The thread move through this pulley. So the load will pull the thread here downwards, this direction. So what happened when the pulley rotates? At that time pulley rotates. When the pulley rotates, the indicator connected to this move through the scale. So this is calibrated with the small scales. So when the plant grow a little even, this will show the correct value here. So this is the oxanometer. Next we are going to see, right, about virus. So we studied now in unit 8 the characteristics of living organisms. So the virus is they are now still they are having research whether it is living or non-living, because it cannot be identified whether it is living or non-living. Then it can be observed through electron microscope, very tiny. It is not considered as a cell. The normal cell pattern is not there. The organelles are not present. Only the virus, the DNA or RNA is present. The other organisms both are present, DNA and RNA, but here DNA or RNA, that is special feature. So that is surrounded by a protein coat. This is the protein coat, and the tails also there. When the virus is outside the body, it is like a matter, non-living. When it is enter inside the body only, it multiplies. Then they are composed of nucleic acid, DNA or RNA enclosed by a protein capsid. Viruses do not possess any organelles. So the other organelles are not present. It becomes active only inside the host cell where they make diseases. The only living feature of virus is the reproduction. That means when the virus enter into the body, it multiplies. So the common viral plant diseases, banana bunchy top and the curly leaf of chilies, these are some viral infections. Then for the animal, influenza, that is cold, then dengue, AIDS, those are some diseases. So these are the characteristics of living organisms. You have tried to do this exercise, page 154.